Alright, House of Payne fans. Now, I did a video about Jasmine and whether or not China Anne McClain would return for her role in the show during season 10, given that in 2020 she made an announcement that she's stepping away from the industry. So, who knows? But in this video, I just wanted to talk about Miranda. I was going to do a separate video about the whole, Calvin saying that he was going to propose to Laura, but one of my biggest complaints was that was one scene that was not on screen, which should have been on screen when Calvin and Miranda were at dinner or whatever. So let's get into this. So before going forward, go ahead and like the video. So hit the thumbs up button. Go ahead and follow me on social media. Links are in the description below. Hit subscribe and click the bell notification icon and select all. That way you don't miss out whenever I post new content to the channel. Okay, so let's say hypothetically Calvin goes through with the proposal, Laura accepts, and then they get married. Okay. With that being said, what purpose does Miranda bring to the show? Now, hey, don't get me wrong. Like I said it time and time again. Sometimes, actors might not have the best acting chops, or maybe the material they are given isn't really enough to showcase their skills. Not to mention the fact that, well, I don't want to see people out of work. Just put that out there. But when you think about how Miranda was written throughout about 97% of season 9, her whole thing was second guessing the divorce, trying to get Calvin back. Okay. Now that it truly seems that he has moved on, which, to be honest, the only scene where he kind of faltered as to whether or not he was unsure about Miranda and the divorce was when they were kissing in the loft. And that was like at the end of episode 7 or 8. And that was like one scene. Other than that, he was just ready to go. So if he is moving forward with an engagement to another woman, what does Miranda have left to even appear for? No, seriously, let me know in the comments. Like, I really want to know. It's just that it shows how poor of a character she was depicted to be last season, Like, it's almost like, she was a character who was trying to, look at Caleb. A character who had a lot of potential. Like, go to my Jasmine video. I list out multiple reasons why he could have been a very good character. I didn't hate Caleb. I just hated what they did with the character itself. Like, there was a decent amount of setup, but none of it was actually tapped. It was a lot of untapped potential there. You have a character like Caleb who's trying to get Jasmine to sleep with him. But then after that was, sabotage due to Calvin, Jasmine saw him for who he really was, and then he ended up running away. Okay? So look at Miranda. Are we going to make her even worse by trying to sabotage the engagement or her popping up at their wedding? Because I swear, how much freaking time has passed by? When Laura was introduced, Calvin said they've been seeing each other for a little while, just a little while. But then, when Miranda pops up in the final episode of last season, it's like, well, I've been coming around here complaining about Calvin for the past couple of months. I'm like, wait, what? And then on top of that, you have to deal with the fact that, yeah, you are the mother of Christian. Correct. Look, I forgot. I think, what is it? Calvin Jr. is the son that Calvin has with Tracy. And Christian is the son he has with Miranda. Let me know if I'm right or wrong on that. But basically, that character only made a couple of random cameo appearances. I think he only appeared twice. Once with Ella at the loft, and then another time when Miranda swung by the CJ's house, if I'm not mistaken. So I really do feel like Miranda doesn't really have anything else to bring to the show. You know me, my whole thing about the channel is coming up with elaborate theories and discussions, but I honestly cannot think of any reasonable idea to bring Miranda back, unless it's just to whine again about Calvin moving on or try to sabotage their engagement or something. But the character has already been assassinated enough last season part of me is like, what can Tyler Perry do to make it worse? But I don't even want to ask that question. It's just a shame because the biggest thing that was the drawing point of fans for season 9. Oh, BET is bringing back House of Payne. Great. We want to know what happened after the Miranda walked out. Then we finally get Miranda in the show, and it's trash. So let me know, do you have any reasonable ideas as to what Miranda will be doing in season 10? I don't think she won't be in the season. I definitely feel like she'll be in a couple episodes at best, but I just cannot see any reason that's worth watching for her to come back around. So let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Do you think Calvin's going to go through with this marriage to Laura? I don't dislike Laura, but well, yeah, I do have some issues with her, but I already talked about that in a previous video. Like, you walk out on the guy you're dating, and then after only meeting his parents briefly, you decide to come back into their home to ask about Calvin. It's like, wait, what? So the fact that we really don't know much about this character, and now all of a sudden she's about to be, proposed to by one of the main characters, just doesn't feel right to me. It's almost like if Derek appeared in like episode 4 of The Haves and the Have-Nots, and then him and Hannah get engaged by episode 6, and we don't know a damn thing about him. Makes no sense. So yeah, let's talk about it below in the comments. And if you want to donate to the channel, feel free to do so on PayPal, Cash App, or join Patreon for as little as $1 a month.